welcome to another video episode of my podcast. My name is Cheryl, and this is Cappuccino Crafts, my little channel on YouTube and my corner of the general interwebs where I like to talk about knitting and sometimes crochet, and also books that I'm reading or listening to, or TV or movies that I'm watching, and other life and general chatty things that I find interesting and would like to share with you. So thank you so much for watching this video and choosing to spend a little of your time with me. I hope that you enjoy it, and please settle in, get yourself a delicious beverage, whatever you like, and your yarn, your hook, your needles, maybe your cross stitch project, or maybe some fiber and a spindle, whatever you need. And let's have a really good crafty chat. So I want to start with a little more general things right now before starting with the crafty goodness, because it was a very busy week this week for me and for our family. There were unusual appointments, and my sister came down and she wanted to visit, but also she helped out with a couple of things. And it was Valentine's Day, and wow, what a week. And it was such a turbulent week with everything in the news and other things too. There was just a whole lot, and I try not to let all the outside things get to me too much, but sometimes that's a little hard. So Valentine's Day was nice because my sister was here and we had a good time with her. She was here for 2 days, and even though we were getting business done, we also had a really good time with her too. It wasn't just all work and no play. It's always nice to see her, and yeah, and the things that we got done, it felt very productive. So that was really good and relieving. And the day after Valentine's Day, on the Saturday after Jan had gone, I took a little break. I gave myself a little time to myself, and I went and had a little brunch at a place that opened a few months ago nearby, and it was delicious. I had a great time. I brought my knitting, and I did a little knitting there too. And then an extra surprise was that on the way out, they gave every patron a beautiful red rose, which I did not expect. I saw a big vase full of so many roses, and I just thought that was, Valentine decoration. And I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. But they were giving them away, and this is my beautiful red rose. And that was just so sweet to me, and I love it. Flowers are so pretty, and I like roses. I also love tulips, and I also love dahlias. I just like flowers in general, but yeah, that just made me smile really big, and I'm still enjoying it. And another interesting thing that I learned this week, I was listening to the radio in the car on the way to an appointment, and there was an interview with an author, looking down at my notes here, Michael Pollan. And he recently published a book called Caffeine. And then it has a long, long subtitle. But it is basically a history of caffeine and its effects on the body, the human body, and also the history of caffeine and how it has affected human history and culture through the last hundreds of years. And it was a fascinating interview. And they also have the book. The audio version is an Audible original. And this month, February, that book, Caffeine by Michael Pollan, is one of the Audible original free options to choose for this month if you have a premium Audible membership. So as soon as I got home, I'm like on my phone going, okay, Audible Originals, select one of my free ones this month. There it is. And I got it. I have not started listening to it yet, but I really enjoyed that. Interview. And he was talking about how part of his research for the book was to go cold turkey off of any caffeine and experience caffeine withdrawal and see what effect it had on him. And wow, I'm not going to do that. He said it was very hard. Yeah. He said he had trouble focusing. His confidence just dove down. He's like, this is a really stupid idea for a book. Why am I doing this? And yeah, it was a real crash, and it was hard, and hard mentally and physically. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. But I think and viewers, whoever may be watching, I have a suspicion you are caffeine consumers too. We love our coffee and our tea a lot. Yeah, and the history and the science with caffeine is really interesting. He was talking about how caffeine really was a fuel for the Industrial Revolution because it kept the workers in the factories going. It, kept people working. And he's like, I don't think the Industrial Revolution would have happened so fast and would have the factory. Anyway, yeah. Really interesting, the effect in our history and the effect on our brains and on our bodies. So, yeah. Also, today is Monday, the 17th of February, and in the United States, it is another holiday, President's Day. It's one of those Monday holidays that we like to give us 3-day long weekends. And they chose President's Day for February because two of the United States presidents that are very well esteemed and very popular were born in February. Abraham Lincoln and George Washington both had February birthdays. So that's why they chose to make President's Day in February. And yeah, President's Day, there's no special celebrations or parades or ceremonies or that kind of thing. It's basically, we want a long weekend. But I just want to think a moment because right now in United States history, it's a very fraught time. And the office of president and the state of democracy is really um, in front of mind. And some of our past, we call the founding fathers that signed the Constitution, or some of our early presidents, really do in our American culture and American history get highly mythologized and put up on a pedestal, which, well, it's natural. I think it's something we do with a lot of important historical figures or events. They kind of become legendary and larger than life. But I really do think it is healthy to also understand that they were just people. They may have been very influential people who did some really great things, but people who do great things, um, they're still imperfect people as well. And so they're complicated. They had weaknesses. They definitely had great strengths as well. But I do think it is healthy to kind of keep our the pedestal's not too high, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, and try and have a reasonable and balanced view of some of our important historical figures. I just wanted to go on that ramble. But I think that's all the rambly, chatty things. And I hope you're still listening. I hope you're still there. And let's get to some crafty goodness. I know I'm ready. I think you are too. You may notice something right here that I've been wearing, and I finished the Estella cowl today. I finished it earlier today, and I'm wearing it now, and I love it. It's not a big loosey-goosey wraparound cowl or big, like, it's more of a cozy, close to your neck that, maybe you wear and you'd wrap your coat around. And most of the cowls that I've made before are a little bit loosier. Well, that's a word. Looser. And some of them are really big loops, so I can double wrap them. But this is a little bit different, but I like it, and I definitely would am gonna wear it and enjoy it. Also, there is a second finish. Finally, after a very long time, and it also went on a month-long break in October, it got put to rest for a break. But this, my favorite color cardigan, is done. And most of the ends are even woven in. I haven't trimmed them because I want to soak and block it first before I trim these. But I have trimmed and woven in these ends. What? I know. Who am I? I hate weaving in ends, and it's my nemesis. And if I can get away with not doing it, I will not do it. But for you, and I wove in these ends even before the video, and I did trim them. So to big, exciting finishes, and that means there's probably a cast on, and you would be right. Absolutely correct. Because of the appointments, and I knew I was going to be in waiting room and have some time that way, I needed something super easy and just relaxing to do in a waiting room, and I cast on a pair of socks with my favorite easy to find commercial sock yarn, Patton's Croy socks. And this colorway is called Coastal Colors, or Coastal Stripes. Coastal Stripes is the colorway. And I enjoyed having those to go with me, and I made a lot of progress on the cuffs. I also cast it on at a coffee shop. Yeah, I had a little adventure for the cast on. I went and I had a dirty chai. I know, doesn't that sound naughty? It's a chai latte, and it has a shot of espresso. So it's coffee and tea together. A dirty chai. It was delicious. So good. I had a dirty chai and a croissant and a cast on. It was a celebration of new socks. That was a fun way to start the week. And then you may be surprised, and I was a little surprised too, there was a second cast on. But what, you say? I know. When I was trying to decide what my new project would be, I found that sweater yarn that I am going to start, that Colorwork sweater that I swatched for last week. But I also was reminded of this yarn that I had already wound into balls and had ready to go for a kind of a medium-sized project. And so I'm like, I want to get that on the needle soon too. So that was in my mind, and I decided to start an improvisation. This is texture and cables and some of my favorite things. You know, I love texture and cables so much. What you may wonder, is that going to be some kind of a wide scarf? What is this? It's going to be kind of a shoulder capelet cowl wrap thing. A shoulder thing. I'm knitting it in the flat, but it will go kind of sideways at the, I'm going to mattress stitch it together at the end. So it will be connected. But I just decided to do it flat and not in the round. I'm going to join the two ends together with mattress stitch, kind of at an angle. I'm not going to join the ends together like the end and end to make a loop. I'm going to join one end to the side of the other on the other end. So it's going to be kind of a little bit asymmetrical shoulder wrap cowl wrappy thing with happy cables, happy texture. And this yarn is really warm and cozy. It is Mirasol yarn. I will put their name in the notes. but the yarn company is Mirasol, and I forget the name of this base right now, but it is a bulky weight. That's why I'm using thicker. These needles are 10.5 US, which is 6.5 millimeters. And it is 50% Peruvian Highland wool and 50% alpaca, which I'm sure must be from Peru too. There's so many alpacas in Peru. So yeah, it's Peruvian yarn, 50% wool, 50% alpaca. It's going to be very cozy, and it's not super soft, but it's not rough either. It has a nice feel to it, and it's really springy and cushy and cozy. Very nice shoulder warmer wrappy thing. So those are the projects, and I wonder, what are you working on this week, and how are your projects going? I hope they're going well, and I hope that your week was a good one. And yeah, Doctor Who was really good. It was another historical, visiting some famous people in history. They went back to visit Mary Shelley, Percy Shelley, and Lord Byron when they were in that villa with a few other people, and it was the night that they were all telling spooky stories and trying to make the scariest story, and where Mary Shelley started writing Frankenstein, her wonderful classic horror novel, which is on my to-read list. I really do want to read it. I just haven't yet. But yeah, it was really gothic, atmospheric, creepy, spooky, and fun, and also bringing in some of the things that they were working in the story arc with the lone Cyberman, and also yeah, so they're getting ready for the finale. They're setting things up. A lot happened in this episode, and yeah, so I hope they keep on this good trajectory all the way through to the finale and finish strong. It's hard to stick a finale. So I hope they do, and I'm excited. This, if it ends as well as the last few episodes have been, this could be one of my favorite series. But we'll see how. There are so many questions right now. They're going to have to save some of it to go into for series 13. I don't think they're going to have everything wrapped up. And we'll see how it goes. If they fall on their face, yeah, I hope they don't fall on their face. But yeah, I think we've come to the end. I hope that you are well, and that you and your families are well, and have a wonderful crafting week this coming week. And thanks for watching and staying all the way through till the end. Take care, and see you next time.